Let's discuss reproduction in plants. Sexual reproduction in flowering plants. The plants that have flowers are called flowering plants. Most of the flowering plants reproduce by sexual reproduction method involving the fusions of sex cells called gametes. Flowers are reproductive parts of the plant. Flower contains sexual reproductive organs of the plant. The function of the flower is to make male and female gametes and to ensure that fertilization will take place to make the seeds for growing new plants. The sexual reproduction in the plants involve the fusions of male and female gametes of the plant, which leads to the formation of the seeds of the plant. These seeds then can be used to grow new plants. Parts of a flower: sepals, petals, stamen, pistil. Sepal. The green leaf-like parts in the outermost circle of a flower called sepals. All the sepals together are called calyx. Sepals. The function of sepals or calyx is to protect the flower in its initial stages when it is in the form of a flower bud. Then petals. The colorful parts of a flower called petals. The petals lie inside the sepals. All the petals taken together are called corolla. The petals are usually scented. Function of petals. The function of petals is to attract insects for pollination and to protect the reproductive organ, which are at the center of the flower. Then, stamen. The little stalk with swollen tops just inside the ring of petals in the flower are called stamen. Stamen is the male reproductive organ of the plant. Stamen is made up of two parts, that is, filamen and swollen top of stamen is called anther. Anther makes the pollen grains are exposed when the anther ripens and split. Then pollen grain. Pollen grain appears to be yellow powder-like substance to us. Pollen grains contain the male gametes of the plant. Pollen grains generally have a tough protective coat which prevents them from drying up. Flower usually has a number of stamens in it. Then pistil. In the center of the flower there is a flexible organ called pistil. Pistil is the female reproductive organ of plant. Pistil is made up of the three parts, that is, stigma, style, and ovary. The top part of pistil is called stigma. Stigma is for receiving the pollen grains from the anthers of stamen during pollination. Then the middle part of pistil is called style. Style is a tube which connects stigma to the ovary. The swollen parts at the bottom of the pistil is called ovary. The ovary makes ovule and store them. Ovules contain the female gametes of the plant. The ovary contains one or more ovules. Each ovule contains only one female gamete of the plant. The female gamete of the plant which is present inside the ovule is called egg. The female reproductive organ of the plant called pistil is also known as carpel. The female organ called pistil are surrounded by a number of main organ called stamen in the flower. Depending upon the presence of reproductive organ of the plant in the same or different flowers, flower may be unisexual flower and bisexual flower. Unisexual flower. The flowers which contain only one reproductive organ, either male or female, are called unisexual flowers. For example, papaya, watermelon, corn, cucumber, etc. Then, bisexual flower. The flower which contains both reproductive organs, male as well as female, are called bisexual flowers. For example, rose, mustard, hibiscus, petunia, etc.